We pulled this Rebel out of the barn, sitting there for 43 years. Whoa! We're about to see if it starts. I have to hook this up. For classic cars has brought a guy out of Pikesville, North Carolina to Collier Motors, which was an AMC dealer up until about 1980. Somewhere on this property is a car I got my eyes on. It's a 1967 AMC Rebel SST convertible. Only 1,686 were made. Mind-boggling. Let's go see if we can find it. Javelins. Lots of them. Collier Motors opened way back in 1955 as an AMC dealership under Robert Collier and successfully operated all the way into the mid-80s until AMC started having economic and leadership troubles, which ultimately led to their demise. Unfortunately, Robert has passed away, but his son Robbie is still operating the lot to this day, although most of the inventory has sat untouched since the 1980s. Got a little Alice Chalmers tractor here. I see a Dodge Daytona, another Cadillac, and tow truck. You know I like tow trucks. It's a Chevrolet. Looks like this is where the service center starts off of the main building. Fitting to have this tow truck here. This is a Holmes wrecker bed. Believe it, and or don't. There's a Pontiac Firebird right there. There's a Rebel right here. This is very similar to what we're after. It's even the SST, which is the top of the line trim. That's a two-door hardtop. We're looking for a convertible flavor. Here's the old service center doors. This is not where our Rebel is. Let's head back this way. Power wheels with the battery. I'm told the Rebel we're looking for is back in this building here. Okay. Oh, I think I see a car in the back here. Yep. Well, here it is. Oh, yeah. Got some couchage. Yep. It's really not in that bad a shape. Well, can't really see it much, but here it is. 1967 Rebel SST convertible. This car is very special because it was actually gifted to Doug, one of the sons of the original owner of this dealership, but he was 9, and that was in 1979. 43 years this car has been sitting here. He's never even driven it. I can't really see what's going on. First thing we got to do is just get it out of here, and that means, we got to move some stuff. All right, here we go. Found a lawnmower and a bed frame. Okay. Yep. I don't know what's happening. Well, here we are. We've finally reached the Rebel. We've got everything moved out of the way. Surprisingly, 3 of the 4 tires are holding air pretty well. That's those old bias plies. One's got a slow leak, but we'll deal with that later. Right now, we're going to hook a strap on, get this onto the silver rental, and try to just drag this thing out of here. I did push it neutral or tried. The wheels are unfortunately locked up. So I'm hoping in the distance of this shed, they break free. Probably not. Okay, here we go. Well, they could have put more provisions for towing. I guess we're going there. This is Sean, good friend and producer. He's going to be wheeling the silver rattle here. So if you hit the door, just keep going. Make it wider for me. Keep on going. All right. Feed her the onions. Hold on. Stop. Well, I have painted myself into a corner.
me, I gotta reposition the strap because it's pulling it this way into a barbecue grill, gas stove, 3 couches, 47 different dinner plate sets, and a mattress. So I gotta get the strap on this side, I believe. All right, nail it. Whoa, 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 whoa. Come on, wheel, break free, break free. Right now, break free. Do it. Do the thing. There you go. Try it. Shut her down. It's outside for the first time in 43 years. This car is getting some daylight. It needs a little love. Let's walk around this thing, drink it up a little bit, see what we're working with here. Right away, I noticed the 343 badge on this side, but on this side, it has the original 290. The Rebels actually had 8 different engine variations, ranging in displacement all the way up to the 390. And if you got the machine, the legendary machine in 1970 with the iconic red, white, and blue paint, you got the high output 390, about 345 horse. This one has a 343 in it, right there. Good engine, pretty quick little devils. And it looks like we got completage. I mean, everything appears to be there. Of course, every hose, lightning hose, everything is pretty well rotted out of it, but fuel make it happeners here, water whirler, charging whirler. Body-wise, it's been wrecked back here. I see some Bondo back there. Quarter panel still looks pretty straight though. Door opens and closes, some more primer in the jamb. It's definitely been painted. This isn't the original paint or color, it's close. This side, a little bit more body damage. Someone was cleaning ditches with it. This actually looks like the door might have come open too far. It got into the fender there as well. More evidence of primer repaint here. But the sills are solid. There's not really carpet in it, and I can tell you the floors are pretty solid. This quarter looks pretty good. Rear's in great shape. Bumper's a little, here and there. Again, this is the SST, which is the top of the line trim model. Didn't get any better than this. Now, the convertibles only came in 67 and 68, 69, they didn't make them. Convertible top probably leaks. I think I'm gonna go ahead and crawl in this, see what we got. Oh yeah, you just gotta get right in. Yeah, it's fine. Smells like a rusty wheelbarrow full of bird beaks. It's really unique. 15,079. Nope. Easily 215.79. But everything is here. Knobs, sure. We got a Selecto-Matic radios here. Seats are in great shape. Probably just need some armor off. Nope, that's my back sweat cleaning it currently. Rear seats in it. Bunch of newspapers from the 70s. Looks like the top, they didn't even have it latched up. He probably drove around with the top down. I don't know, I'm speculating. Then folded her back up. Hard to say. So this says Rambler on the car. You'll see that on the hood, steering wheel, a couple different places. It was called the Rambler Rebel in 67. 68 on, they dropped the Rambler part, and it was just called the Rebel. All right, I gotta get out of here. I can't breathe. So here's what a guy's thinking. Obviously the top needs a little bit of love. Work on the interior a little bit, clean that up. This paint, pretty sure we can spit shine this. Get her shining like a diamond. So tires, brakes, and I heard the coast is about 100 miles from here. Boy, I'd love to have the top down on this thing, cruising the coast, just enjoying the car again. But first, let's see if it runs. So I'm going to start off by checking the health of the engine here and then work through a couple different things, try to get this to bark off and make some noise. Already checked earlier, the engine does rotate back and forth. That's fantastic news. I still am going to pull the sparkulators out, take a look at the cylinder walls, make sure everything is good there, inspect those sparkulators, make sure we don't have any physical damage or anything wrong there. Go through the ignition system, test the lightning can, the points, go through the fuel make it happener, and then we're going to jump right in. Pour some fire maker in this thing and just, can it make some noise out of the tailpipe? That would be pretty cool. So the Brake Master cylindre. It's not doing brake master cylindre things. Just stuck to the floor. So I got to try to get this master cylinder out. But you know the deal all season long. You snap one brake line, you snap the next, and then you're 59 brake lines. I got one out. I'm going to try to disconnect it from the firewall and then actually rotate the master cylinder off of the line instead of trying to take the line out of the master cylinder. And that might save me about 36.7 months of labor. Well, that's good news. As you can see, the engine actually rotates. Guy's got pretty much a whole new ignition system in here, other than the cap, rotor, cleaned the points up. The lightning can, known as a coil in Canada, that was bad. Replaced it. New battery wires. I confirm we've got spark. So, we're about to see if it starts. I have to hook this up. There it goes. Yes. It's a runner. Oh, look at the smoke. Look at this. That's old fuel from the tank. It's going to sit here and idle. That's fuel from 1979. Incredible. All right, I don't want to run it any more than that on that old oil. The valve train didn't even clicky clack. American Motors, not bad. I got gas in my retinas, it burns. Well, the car runs, but a guy's not going anywhere with this wheel locked up like this. So what I'm gonna do is call in a tow truck, hook it onto that thing, swing by the old car wash, blow this off, see what we got, and then take it right to a shop on the property here where I can start digging into this thing. After 43 years, the Rebel is out of that shed. It came to life. It ran for a few minutes. We've got to wash. Now we've got to push in the shop where we can do some more work on this. This is Doug and Robbie. Their parents ran the dealership for many years. And Doug, your dad gave this to you when you were 9 years old.
Yeah, 9 years old. And my brother, they got Javelins. He got a 74 Javelin, and my other brother got a 70 Mark Donahue Javelin. And then I got this one, but I was too young to drive it, and it needed a little work and stuff. So my dad just squirreled it away in that building, and it's been there ever since, 43 years.
So this is really the first time as an adult you will probably even ever remember seeing it out of that shed.
Absolutely, yeah. And I even in the shed, I was like, I wanted to see it from a distance so that it just kind of stayed protected back there with all the stuff around it, so it wouldn't be messed with.
Very cool. Well, if you don't mind, I'm going to list you fellers. You can start taking out the seats. We can send them down to get recovered, and I'm going to start working on these brakes.
All right, sounds good.
All right.
My dad had given my brothers their cars, and then he got this Rebel convertible, and he thought it was a cool car, and it would be a neat car for me to have, and so I thought it was awesome. He wanted to store it away so it wouldn't get damaged by the elements, wouldn't get rained on, because the top was, maybe not watertight and everything at the time. I guess what he did is he really prepared it to be stored.
I was just glad to get the car out of the building, because I've been on to Douglas for a year to get the car out of the building. And to have this happen, it just couldn't be any more nice, and there's no negatives that I can think of about it. We're just very thankful.
We had a great first day on the Rebel here. We got it out of the shed, we heard it run, we gave it a bath. Doug's got the interior tore out. While he was doing that, I attacked the driver's side front here and got all new brake, pretty much everything. That's going to be a wrap today. Tomorrow, back on brakes and back on this engine. Guys in North Carolina at Collier Motors, an old AMC dealership, just pulled this Rebel out of a shed. Been sitting there for 43 years. Got her washed, got her clean, heard it run. I'm going to dig back in on the brakes today, try to get the drinker side done. We're going to need some fuel capacitize if I'm going to cruise this over to the coast. I'm going to try to drain the fuel tank, get back on the engine, drain the oil, address the carburetor issues, all of that. Plus, I've got Dan, the interior man, on the way. He can hopefully jump in the interior here, start getting the door cards and all of that stuff taken care of as well. It's going to be a busy day. So this is a 10-ton hydraulic. It's actually a gear puller. Robbie lent it to me. I guess it works for drums pretty decently. I got the other side off. If you remember on episode 1, the Mustang, doing it manually with pry bars and sledgehammers, well, it's an easy way to basically burn up a whole day. This gets them off pretty decently. It does destroy the drums though, but we have some new ones, so they are stuck. That's off now. So while these old poverty cabs are both neat and in excellent condition, all 4 of them are, doesn't really give me that muscle car vibe. So we got to change it up. We need new tires anyway. So we're going to go with this. Rally style wheel, 215s on the front, 245s in the back. That's going to change the whole look of the car. Oh, got it. Yay, little victories. Well, the rear brakes, they are a mess, as you can see. All the lines were swollen, rusted, leaky. So I'm trying to rebuild it here with a couple new pieces and some stuff that I gotta make. It's really fun. It came out of there. More like can't work on it motors. Is that even the right fitting? I'm gonna have to try it from top. If I break my hand, dislocate my finger, then still nothing happens. Oh, no. Oh, blood. Oh, that was easy. It worked. Well, Dan, the interior man, is here via Wisconsin, and he's going to help me put these brake lines in really quick so we can get this bled, and then I'm sure you want to jump in and get this car on the ground.
I absolutely do.
Have you seen in there yet?
I haven't yet, but I can imagine.
Okay. He's going to like it.
Dan's upholstery and brake line shop, so here we go.
You started over there?
I've not only started, I've finished.
Nice.
I'm going to take the window handle off, the 2 ashtrays that we're going to try and clean up a little bit, and then clean this up, and then we're going to try and spray some color coat to change the color back to the red that it was to start with. Somebody put black in here and didn't do a very good job on it. Such is life. Not perfect, but it's better than the way it was. Just put that glass cleaner on there to give it some moisture so it's like wet sanding it.
So the Rebel's got an old Carter AFB style fuel making happening on it right now. And rather than try to rebuild this, I'm going to throw a electric choke 600 CFM Edelbrock on this, and I do have a full kit for that. So once I get that snipped on, we can adjust it and, make it do the things for the performances in the area. Should be easy off, easy on. I gave myself a jinx. Turns out the Edelbroken's butterflies are like 1,000th bigger than the Carter, and they won't butterfly into the intake. One of the most important things to me is you can get 105% throttle. You know what I mean? And we don't have that right now. This spacer is going to allow us to do that. Plops right on the intake. Carburetor is going to sit on here, and those butterflies will fold into the spacer instead of the intake, and then we'll have full throttle. There. Much better. old AMC dealership, got this car pulled out of a shed after 43 years. We heard it run for a little bit, but we spent a day on it. All new brakes, fuel lines, fuel system, ignition. We're about to get this fired up again, see if we can get it idling and test the transmission. Bring the thunders. Swan. That is now officially the longest it's ran in 43 years.
There's fuel coming from the tank. That's old leaded fuel. 4 decades old.
I'm gonna jump in, throw it in gear, see if the transmission works. Yes. Reverse. Oh, that's great news. We got a transmission. We are well on our way to cruising to the coast. We officially have a running engine, shifting transmission, brakes that work. We've got the interior started on this thing. Tomorrow, we're going to continue with some maintenance on the engine here. The interior, we'll keep going on that. Seats top. And I might even start buffeting the paint. We need this thing to look good. We'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning. Good morning. If guy's going to get the Red Rebel all the way to the coast, I need 2 big things. Fuel capacitize and a decent cooling system, but I can't test either until I can run the engine long enough. So I'm going to drop the oil here, get this old filter out, get some fresh oil in, then we can start running this thing a little bit longer, bring those head gaskets around, and hopefully this cooling system's good. Overtake this for the next guy. Perfect. There we go. Okay, it's a real possibility. We have a plug line from the fuel tank to the fuel pump, which is not good. I don't have another fuel tank. So I got to try to figure this out somehow. Oh, this fuel line's crispier than Bob Barker's back. I'm probably going to break it getting it off. Can a guy blow some wind through there and see if the line is restricted back to the tank? Do you hear any bubbling back there in that tank?
Oh yeah, right here. You can feel the air coming out of it.
Well, let's replace this rotten thing. And then maybe...
Yeah, rotten ain't even the word for that. Holy crap.
Yeah, there's not even a nub on the other end. You know what one of my favorite things to do is?
What's that?
Drop fuel tanks.
Yes.
It's so fun. Oh, there goes the seal on the transmission jack. It's all in the karate noises, Dan.
I'm sure that's it.
Yeah. You little rascal. The tube's on it.
It's so plugged tight.
This tube was completely rotted off, so we cut it flush. I raised it. We're going to try to weld this back into place, essentially, so we can get our rubber line back on this and put the same old unit back in, except now the tube isn't plugged and it actually connects. Yeah, we didn't even spill any.
Hardly any.
It's good vinegar. So we're not able to get our hands on a new fuel tank for the Rebel here, but that's okay. There's some ways to clean these gooderish enough to just get back on the road. Most commonly, people use nuts, bolts, things with sharp edges. Even some clean, sharp rocks will do the trick. However, I've done this about 948 times, and I can tell you, those are very difficult to get back out. I've found marbles to be ideal. They're much easier to get out. However, you have to work at it a little bit harder to get it clean. As far as chemicals go, we're just using some good old white vinegar and then some CLR, calcium, lime, and rust, all in which we have in here. So we're just going to dump all this stuff in here
add all these marbles, and then spend probably about an hour shaking this tank around trying to knock free all the deposits, dump it out, put her back in. A little for me, some for the tank. Being that all of this basically goes down your household drain, it's environmentally safe and friendly, so once we shake all this up, we can just, go dump it on some weeds or pretty much anywhere on the property. We don't have to worry about disposing of it. And basically, do this until your back locks up. See that's particles coming out? I've enlisted the help of a younger spine on the staff here, and he's doing excellent, actually. There. That's a lot of rust. So we just finished cleaning the fuel tank out here. I just dropped in the sending unit that we rebuilt there, got the ring back on. So now we can set this back in the car. New rubber fuel line off the front, new rubber for the vent, hook back up to digicals. I mean, brand new. Lost the receipts. Hopefully that's the sink making leaking noises. But if not, we'll just ignore it. Yes. Pulling from the fuel tank. Success. Now, we can add some water, start testing the cooling system. Fingers crossed the head gaskets are good. I don't know. And the rad doesn't leak. That'd be neat. Thermostat's probably stuck. So I decided to rebuild the transmission, and what I mean by that, of course, is just dump some of the stop slip in. Once we get it fired up, I got a couple water leaks I gotta fix. Good news is, worst case scenario, there's water pouring out of the side of the block. The good news is I got a lot more water. I'm gonna top this off, quick try to lift it in the air and see where it's coming from, but effectively we just added another 17 days to this project. Sweet. That's head. That could shut us down, boys. It's safe to say it was not winterized correctly. It's one of those things. You park these away without the right amount of antifreeze in them, bad things can happen. Oh, that is a freeze plug. Thank goodness gracious. But absolute worst possible place to be in. Right in front of the dipstick. Oh, injury. Just like going to the dentist. Nope, not even close. I need to go buy a scratch-off ticket. That's what was leaking. So I finally got this rotten freeze plug out, but I can't locate the exact replacement, and even if I did, it's going to be impossible to install correctly way back here on this head without removing the head. So I did the right thing and just smeared a bunch of RTV on a universal expandable one and jammed that on in there. Seems to be holding up there fine, but of course, now the water pump is leaking. On this rig, that means pulling off the charging whirler, the power steering pump, and all the other pulleys and belts. That's great. It's gonna have trouble when I tape a grenade to it. So I'm replacing the water pump up here. The guys from JB Auto Upholstery and Dan are gonna tackle the top, and they'll probably have that done before I'm done. Nope, that's a huge project.
Well, we're going to have to replace the top on this vehicle, and we're lucky to have JB and David from JB's Auto Upholstery in Raleigh, North Carolina here to help us do it. In fact, they're going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
You're going to help us?
I'll help.
Okay.
I'll point and criticize.
That one might be stuck in there.
Right, that is fine.
I'll be dipped. the upholstery fillers are calling it a night, but we've still got a lot left to do, so I'm going to stay back, do a little bit of buffing on this thing, and then we'll all be back bright and early tomorrow. Keep going on the list. Well, the Rebel has been putting up a fight so far. As soon as a guy fixes something else fails. But it was sitting in a shed for 43 years, so I kind of got to give it a pass. So far, we put new rear brakes and front brakes, including a master cylinder and some brake lines, a new 4-bar carburetor, new ignition system, a freeze plug, a water pump, whole bunch of other stuff, but there's still work to do. The top's not done, interior's not done, and I still have some work to do under here. While I'm waiting for the guys to get here with more top material, I need to replace this crank pulley. It's rusted and rotting and just throwing shrapnel everywhere. Once I get it out, I'll show you how bad it actually is. There's the issue. It's not supposed to be Wi-Fi in there. It was adjusting its own belt size, and this shrapnel was just flinging out at us. Luckily, there's like 7,912 AMCs over here, so we'll grab another one, throw it right back on. This one's completely rebuilt. And by that, I mean, it's, you know, here we go. Brand new crankshaft, forged. Starts good. All the weird squeaking and ticking and rust pieces flying and all of that is resolved. After we put the air cleaner on, we can shut this hood one last time and done. Well, I've got the pulley swapped under the hood. Mechanically, I think we're sound. Engine runs great, transmission seems to be shifting, brakes are there, we've got fuel capacity. Dan and the other guys are on it. They're doing the top right now and the interior. If all goes well, tomorrow we're setting sail for the coast. We spent the last 4 days in Pikeville here, working on this beautiful 67 Rebel. We've pretty much gone through it bumper to bumper. It's ready to take its first drive in over 4 decades, but I'm not going to be the one to do it. It only makes sense that you do it, Doug.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I have never driven this car. It's kind of a childhood dream come true.
Awesome. Will you jump in the captain's seat?
All right.
I'll hit the starter trigger. Couldn't fix everything, you know. Oh, turn the key on.
Oh, that would probably do it. Sorry.
It's great that you can actually drive it to the front of the dealership where it's been sitting all these years, you know?
I know. That is so amazing.
How are the brakes?
Feel great. So getting used to with the manual drums.
Yeah. Power steering even works, huh?
Yeah, the power steering is buttery smooth.
It's almost kind of almost an eerie feeling driving out of here.
I know, yeah.
Seeing all the cars.
I think my dad's probably looking down on this, and he's really happy about it. He's probably looking down on us right now, and he's really happy about, you know, the car coming out and being on the road again.
You know what? It's a beautiful day. Why don't we put this top down?
Oh, that'd be cool. Wow. That is amazing.
Now we're talking. Very cool.
That is so cool.
So I gotta ask you, do you even remember it looking like this? You were only 9 back then.
Yeah, I mean, I remember it was red. I remember my dad said it had a problem with the door we needed to fix. And, the top needed some fixing, but it's just amazing to see the transformation. Now it's roadworthy.
Oh, it's been my pleasure working on the car, and I'm glad that it's a family heirloom, and I just thought it would be neat to bring it back right in front of the dealership. And we put a lot of work in the last 4 days, pretty much went through it bumper to bumper. I think it looks great. It looks really good.
I can't thank you guys enough. It's just a dream come true.
Absolutely. It's been my pleasure. That being said, I think I would like to drive this thing. It's a beautiful day, tops down, tank full of fuel. I want to shake this down, see if I can make it to the coast. It's about 100 miles.
Okay.
All right. Shortest route to the ocean from here is about 100 miles. First time on the highway in 43 years. Power steering actually is really good in this car. Temp gauge does work. That's good. Fuel gauge works, which is a huge plus. Nothing else. Oh, radio's back. I'll be damned.
But if the shadows will go around it, if the Falcons put a touchdown,
Mouse of sandal! I think we're going about 50 right now, and it feels like 106. It feels pretty solid on the road, actually. Other than the severe vibration in the front, ride's great. My bullet's just whipping today. It is a beautiful day out, though. Guys, gotta take her easy for a few miles, then we'll pick up the speed here. Let all the bearings and seals and gaskets and doodads and dippies come back around. Then we'll really get into that AMC power. I am starting to feel, almost feels like an inside wheel bearing on the captain's side front. Drinker's side feels good, but I inspected these bearings and repacked them, and they did not look bad, so I'm not sure what happened there. But I ain't, stop panicking about it, and let's just wait. It's gonna be fine. Check this wheel out. It's not a wheel bearing, thankfully. Good news is the tire was just falling off. That's fine. In this episode of Roadworthy Rescues, I need rescued. So all of the studs, presumably because these really good high quality lug nuts started backing out, has galled them up, but the wheel bearing seems to be fine. So we're going to ignore all that, put this back on, re-torque down the lug nuts to 317 foot-pounds this time, and then just keep hitting it. We're like 50 miles. I'm getting hungry and thirsty. Getting a little hot. We'll just kind of ignore that for now. We've got like 41 miles left. Let's keep going. What's going on, you little rascal? Well, I think the lack of a fan shroud and a fan being, this big, and heat, traffic, it's all kind of combined together and it's hot now. But there's no water in the oil, so the head gaskets are hanging in there. Just gonna let her cool down, get some fresh water in this, gonna put some water or some sort of other magical snake chemical in there. I don't know what's in it. And I think we'll be okay. We're just gonna take her easy. We're not in a rush. I think, unfortunately, my earlier suspicions are absolutely correct. Inside wheel bearing, captain side, not happy. She's a-going. She's a-going pretty quick. I now have like 9 miles left. Just in a nice, gentle speed. I don't want to ruin the spindle, but you can definitely feel when they let go, and then I'm going to have to pull over immediately, otherwise it'll get into that spindle. We're so close, though. Come on! Man, it is hotter than Shakira and the 2-piece out here. I ain't kidding. Yeah, I'm really dragging the brake right now. I have to. It's the only way I can keep it on the outside bearing. The inside one has left the building. We're going to get into some brake fade here pretty quick, but that's what reverse gear is for. Throw her up in that. 1.8 miles for like 300 kilometers. So close. Yes. Made it. Well, I think we did. It's a whole lot of water. We made it to Emerald Isle, 100 miles from the dealership. It's been a wild week. In just 4 days, we literally dug this out of a barn after 43 years, made some improvements and repairs, and drove it here. Feels great to get this family heirloom back on the road. That's going to do it for this episode and season 1 of Roadworthy Rescues. I hope somehow, some way in the future, I'll see you again. Go to motortrend.com/how-to for exclusive info on all of our coolest project cars and builds, including in-depth tutorials and detailed parts lists so you can make your very own classic car at home. This time on Roadworthy Rescues,
They don't have any brakes.
we don't have any brakes and we're off-roading. This time, I head back to South Dakota to meet up with my brother Sean and get a 78 P5 Blazer back on the trail. Over here at Zweifel Motors in beautiful Black Hills of South Dakota. I actually worked here as a kid. I apprenticed alongside Roger and really kicked off my love for reviving and rescuing cars. We did a lot over the years, and this Blazer has been sitting back here in the grass for as long as I can remember. I think the plates actually say 1991. Now, it is a parts truck, but I do want to see if I can get this thing going. Let's just start by walking around the rig here, inspect it a little bit, hook our peepers on it, see what we got going on with this thing. Well, I believe this to be approximately a 78, 79 K5 Blazer. It's been hodgepodge with different parts over the years, kind of going on the build date on the door frame there. But we'll dig through it and see if we can confirm that. Blazers started in '69, and of course they were a direct competitor to the full-size Bronco, and these were really popular. Nice short wheelbase. You could get them in two-wheel drive, which was rare, four-wheel drive, or full-time four-wheel drive, which this unit is right here. Also, you could get them in a half removable top, like this one, or this unit next to us has a full removable top. So there are some options there as well. Really fun for off-roading and for what we're gonna do. Go around to the Black Hills, splash through some puddles, see some sights. So we'll kind of walk around and see what we got going on with this one. One of the clues to full-time is the hub and also the shift pattern on the inside. It doesn't say high, low, two-wheel, stuff like that. It's just high and low. And then on the visor, there should be a sticker that'll also tell us. I don't know what wheels these are. I have no clue. Kind of funny looking. It's rusty, but, you know, just enough weight reduction to give us an advantage in the trails. Rockers are shot. That's fine. Already restored that pretty much. Glass seems to be pretty good. Kind of got the original rally wheel on back here actually, but it's a GMC hubcap for some reason. But again, parts have been just swapped all the way around. Cheyenne badge, or it's a custom deluxe. I don't know yet. This bumper is in beautiful shape, but check this out. 1991 hanging off of this thing. Centennial plate, that's pretty cool. But this glass here, watch this. See if it still works. Oh, he dipped. We already got mud tires. Wrong bolt pattern. We kind of use vehicles for storage out here, so they always have miscellaneous stuff in here, but top's in pretty decent shape. Nothing really wonky back here yet, so that's good news. Frame looks to be pretty decent. I don't know, I mean, the exterior is not bad. Needs some glass. I mean, a guy could probably peek through right here. Not so much here, you know, but beggars can't be choosing on it or whatever. All right, yeah, so here I got February of 78. Sure, look at these seat covers. Brand new. Just need to dust it off, basically. We got the Audio Magic. Here is that. We got the low lock, high lock, backer, forwarder. Yep, here's the sticker up here. Full-time four-wheel drive. So this would probably be the new Process 203 transfer case in this unit. Mileage is 43,000. 1,043,000, I'm gonna say. Smells like a snake den full of Old Spice. It's kind of confusing. I want to like it. You know what I mean? Carpet's in great shape. This is really cool. The original build sheet for this truck. Let's see what we got. This is big. 373 rear end or gear axle. That's going to help us off-roading, especially with the tires I want to put on this thing. And then we got the 350 V8 4-barrel, putting out, you know, all of the donkeys and ponies and horses. This is really cool. I'm going to put that up there. It should stay with the truck. Well, let's get under the power barn, see what we got going on under there. Oh yeah, there it is. We got V's of 8s in here. Oh yeah, we got a 4-barrel. It's got the quadribog on it. Bop, bop. The AC pump is still on this. I can't believe that, but I got to. I'm looking right at it. There it is. Oh, lightning whirler. That doesn't look good. Probably a clue as to why it was parked. The ignition module is unplugged, but it's still in there. I actually know for a fact this is going to be missing a starter because I pulled it out to put in my other Blazer 2 years ago, a year ago. I don't know. It was a time ago. But other than that, everything's here. Rad's in here. We got a good base. I'm not even sure where to start. I guess we should see if we have keys and get a starter back in this thing. See if we can get her spinning over. I've got an idea what I want to do with it. If we're going to take a wheeling in the Black Hills, we're going to need some ground clearance right away. Lots of rocks. I think I'm going to throw a 4-inch lift on this, some 35-inch tires, clean it up a little bit, hop up the engine, get some more HPs out of it, and then, you know, lastly, maybe like brakes, stuff like that. Now, this is a big to-do list. I'm going to need some help. I got just the guy. It's my brother, Sean. How's it going?
It's going.
So, you ready to tear into this thing?
I am.
We got a lot of work to do in just a couple days.
Yes, we do.
Why don't we start by having you put the starter in you just took out a couple years ago?
Yep.
And then I'll find some keys and see if I get the ignition going.
It's a good start, I think.
All right, here we go.
Before we start, I think we're going to cut some of these weeds down to minimize on insect bites and give us some more visual clearance here around the vehicle.
I'm gonna make him do all the work today. Shock is broke off in here, but that's fine. You don't need all 4 of them.
That didn't go far.
Watch the bumper, man. We'll leave the jack under here so emergency personnel can get him out faster.
Ow.
You fit?
Yep. The exhaust is off.
It is?
Yes.
Straight manifold?
Yes. And the inspection cover's off.
So someone was getting ready to pull the motor. We're kind of just doing some automobile archaeology here, trying to figure out why this was parked. I don't recall. We got the exhaust unbolted. The ignition is taken off. We took the starter off, but inspection cover's missing. Is there a torque converter in it?
Yes.
Maybe she's blow it up. The good news is we have an even better option right next to us. Just in case. Well, good luck with the starter. I'm gonna figure out a key.
Okay.
Door stop 3000. Okay. It turns out there is no key for this rig. So what I'm gonna have to do, oh, someone was already in the process. Okay, we're gonna pull the steering wheel and put a new ignition tumbler in it. So that way we actually have a key and, you know, that'll help, we could start it that way, in theory. Need a puller.
Safety squints engaged.
Oh, it's all coming back to me. Sean dropping dirt in his face. Me just watching, laughing. Well, anyway, bolt puller wasn't pulling, so I just gave her a, you know, the old 1-2, and it actually popped off. Well, successful steering wheel operation, and now we've got not only 1 key, but 2. Plus, I did a poverty alignment. Yeah, you can do that. Wheels were straight, steering wheel was crooked, so when I put it back together, you just crooking the steering wheel the other way. Now everything is straight. Nice. Yep. So far, we've got a new starter in, and we've got a new key in. We're gonna drop this fresh battery in here, check the oil, and then see if this thing rotates. Fingers crossed, engine rotates. Oh yeah. Boy, it's got a bad gallop in it. That galloping sound means one of the pistons is significantly lower on compression than the rest. Could be a burned valve, bent valve, bad rings, sticky rings. We might even just have a plug missing. I don't even know. But the good news is the engine rotates, and if a small block Chevy rotates, it'll run.
It'll run.
So, why don't we rig up a makeshift fuel system? We'll take it right from the pump and like put a jug in or something.
Yep.
While you're working on that, I'll see what's going on with this lightning whirler. It's all torn apart and ignition module's unhooked, and I don't know. It might just be easier to get a El Cheapo replacement. And
It looks like that cap's been off for quite a while, so.
yeah. Sean's going to do a temporary fuel system over here. We don't know what's in this tank. It's definitely going to be varnish, could be rust. I'll get a spark. We twist the key again. Hopefully it fires up and we could drive it down to the shop and continue working on this thing. The ignition module is gone and the wires are chewed. So this distributor is shot. Can a guy just take this one out? Getting woozy. Woo! I'm richer than Oprah. What I'm doing here is pulling the #1 spark plug out. I don't know what the timing orientation is right now in relation to the distributor, so I gotta set it at top dead center. I'm gonna do that by sticking my finger in the sparkulator hole. Sean's gonna crank it. When it comes to its compression stroke, we're at top dead center. Then I could drop a new distributor in and point that rotor correctly to the cap, and then put all of the lightning hoses back in. Bump. Right there. Should be able to take a peek at the timing tab. Yeah, it's basically right on the money. Old lightning whirler coming out. Bzz. See all the wires chewed up, broken. mechanical advance is stuck. It's a good rebuilder.
Looks like all of them are a little rich, but we'll just throw a new set of plugs in while Derek's gonna build out the plug wires and we'll go from there. Might have got a little bit of water in that cylinder.
Well, if we're gonna be pulling around these big tires, 35-inch boggers is what we're gonna be using. Gotta try to get as much pep out of this 350 as we can, so along with the high performance distributor, instead of using a stock style wire, we're gonna go ahead and make some performance wires. Just gotta bust these ends on really quick, cut them all the length, get those laced in. Fuel system is done. Sean got that done. He also put new spark regulators in, so we're just waiting on me to finish these up, and hopefully we can hear this thing run. All right, go ahead, Sean. Okay, hold on. For some reason that sounds like it's only firing while it's being cranked, and when you let off the key, it's shutting off. Troubleshooting in the digicals. Great. Okay, got power there. Then crank. Loses power. Jiggle the key. Again. That fixed it.
Just jiggling wires around.
I think the ignition switch just had some corrosion in it by just racking it back and forth a bunch. It cleared it up. There we go. Oh, can't see nothing.
We got good oil pressure.
Here we go. All right, try it again. Boy, it's not sounding like it's delivering oil to the valve train, that's for sure. Sounds like a bunch of wooden leg tap dancers in there, just tippity-tip-tip, tippity-tap. Says oil pressure though, right?
Yeah.
Rockers are dry. Hindsight being 12/16, we should have put a fill tray in here.
We got one right there I can cut in real quick.
Might not be a bad idea. It was not pulling fuel. Let's prime the diaphragm. Try to get that crusty old diaphragm looped up. I just don't understand how radiator cap's good. Empty.
Ready?
Yep. Okay, the pump just started pumping at the very last second. So I think that diaphragm was just really crispy.
Dry.
And wasn't diaphragming. But that's as long as I want to run it without getting any ice cube juice in here. I'm starting to see a little bit of oil moisture on the rocker finally, but it is banging in there. I'm thinking if we get this down to the shop, we change the oil, put some thicker stuff in here, or maybe thinner. Have to think about it. All right, water, here we go. It would be smart of us to put antifreeze in it. Oh no.
Head gasket?
Oh no. Pour it in again. Oh yeah, there's an entire window on the side of the head. Right now, what we got is water leaking directly out of the head. Can't really see in there to what's going on. Couple options, cracked head, freeze plugs, or there is a temperature sensor that typically goes on the captain side over here for your temp gauge. I'm just hoping that for some reason is missing, which would be super bizarre. Either way, if we're going off-roading, it's got to stay, cool. That would be nice. We got to take this pump out of the way to see what's going on.
That's exactly what it is. Hole for the sending unit.
Block plugged. Now we'll fire it up again and let this fuel pump go back to work. Okay, go ahead. Sounds terrible.
Yeah, it does.
Well, ready to pull a motor? The valve train sounds like ball peen hammers on concrete. That's great. It says we have oil pressure, but I don't know if we got a bent valve or stuck valve or what the deal is, but that sounds terrible. Noise isn't valve train, the noise is something with the flex plate. Oh, a starter hitting the flex plate, or is the flex plate broke? Why was there a torque converter in here, and why is the inspection cover missing? Could have been making that noise, and they're going,
What is it?
what is it?
Transmission is loose from the engine. Best way to get ticks is just, lay in it, basically. We're trying to eliminate potential causes here before jumping to any conclusions that it's severe, like a main bearing or a rod bearing, which I didn't even want to say it out loud, but I just did. This side is missing the bolt. I need a 76-foot extension for this socket. Discovered that it was missing a bell housing bolt and the rest of them were loose, so they weren't mated correctly, and that's what was causing that flex plate to be on round, make a bunch of weird noise. There we go. Listen to this transfer case though. Reverse. Oh, don't want to do that too many times. We might be swapping transfer cases. This Blazer's been sitting up here in this grass for a better part of 20 years or more, and it's finally running and we're about to move it under its own power. It really didn't take a lot. We put a starter in it, battery, makeshift fuel system, ignition system, a couple little doodabs here and there. We got about 200 yards to the shop. Doesn't seem like a lot. We've got to navigate the trees and cars. We're going to make some upgrades to this thing before we actually head out to the trails. Make it a little bit more capable and hopefully reliable. Man, I'm fired up to go wheeling, honestly. It's been a while.
It's been a while for me to full-size wreck, to be honest.
So, the brakes are good.
That's a really big change for you.
Yeah. I think that's why I'm stalling it, is I'm not using the brakes. By the way, we have like 10 voltages left for the lightning storm system.
Well, maiden voyage is not very long.
This is crazy, man. This Blazer sat in that grass for as long as the first day I worked here. For as long
as I can remember coming out here.
And here we are driving the thing.
Yep.
Well, we located that other transfer case. We had a 92.6% chance it was going to work. And nope. Different spline count, and that's a nightmare with the drive shafts and everything else. We just don't have time for that. So we talked it over, and I think we're just going to try to take it as easy as possible on the chain in this transfer case, and just go ahead and put a lift on it, more rotating mass, bigger tires. That should help. So we're going to get this thing cribbed up somehow, bust these old springs off, get new springs in, and work towards getting those bigger tires on. You want some safety glasses?
Oh, everything's good.
Yeah.
Brand new.
Success! Well, the good news is 4 hours later, we know what to do on the other side.
Easy.
Boom! This is Roger's Weifel. This is his place, Weifel Motors here, Piedmont, South Dakota. I actually worked for him all through school and then some, didn't I?
Well, yeah.
He taught me a lot.
Oh, boy.
He did, including how to set fires with
What
grinder
fire
wheels.
did we set? You're going to set one now with that thing?
Yeah. We got everything disconnected. We got tie rod off, shocks off. We're going to leave the drive shaft in. That'll hold the axle in place, basically. But instead of taking the U-bolt nuts off, which is going to take forever, I'm just going to take the death wheel and, try to slice them off. We do have like 16 gallons of gas, some brake cleans, some WD-40, some other penetrants, in the area. So this should get interesting. Woo! That's hotter than Larry Bird's 3-point average. Tickle with the Tanya Harding. We are putting a 4-inch lift in this, and we're going to do all springs. So typically you would, of course, do springs in the front here, but in the back you could do blocks or a shackle flip, but we want to go all the way and just actually put full springs. We're going to eliminate the sway bar in the front as well, so the truck gets some more articulation. Well, we are losing light. I think we're going to go ahead and call it for tonight. Quite a bit of progress today. Stubborn bolts, rusted hardware, you name it. The new front leaf springs are in. Tomorrow we just got U-bolts, shocks, steering stabilizer. Then we can move to the rear, which, fingers crossed, should be a lot less complicated and easier. Then we gotta worry about things like exhaust and hopping up the engine and tires, wheels, and you name it. But it's looking much better. See you bright and early tomorrow. It's officially day 2 on our K5 project back here. We're attempting to take this from a field straight to off-roading in the Black Hills of South Dakota. So far, we've driven it 200 yards. So it makes sense to put complete suspension now, and tires and wheels, and hop up the engine, and a whole bunch of other bolt-ons. If everything goes to plan, this is going to be a lot of fun. But it won't, probably. That's good. They got some tabs busted off for the old shock mount, but there was that blazer right next to this one. I think I'll just cut a tab off, bring it back down, and try to cobble in some other ear so the shock holds. Like a stack of washers or a nut or something. Pinch, danger, injury. This is where I walk away.
I'm trying to get the shock in, and I cut the holding strap, so now I'm struggling with the jack, trying to decompress the shock to get it mounted.
Technically, it would be compressing the shock.
Yeah, compressing.
I mean, am I supposed to help you, or?
Well, I mean, can you just loosen it a little bit?
Down?
Yeah, down.
Boom. There's like a center. There you go.
Now that I struggled to get the shock in, we realized that it is the wrong length. As you can see, it's completely bottomed out, and we don't even have the weight on it yet. So we're gonna have to round up some new shocks and go from there.
So what I'm doing here is I need to lengthen this slightly to keep the geometries correct with our pitman arm here. 4 inches right on the border when you need to change the pitman arm and put what's called a drop pitman arm, which actually does the opposite. The pitman arm lifts up to connect to this instead of being a downwards curve like this. That process, however, is legendary. It takes a lot of heat, huge hammers, multiple swear words, and hours of swinging and hitting and heating and prying and bending. We're trying to avoid that. We're going to lengthen this out, hook it up, and hope that we don't have bumps here, which is when you hit bumps, the geometry here will just automatically turn the wheel. It's really fun on the highway. You should try it. No, don't do that. It's bad. Boom. Now I'll just verify the steering wheel placement. Should still be really crooked, pointing at 10 o'clock. And we know we nailed it. Oh yeah, it's right on the money. Also an exceptional ladder. Is Tommy Lee Jones still alive?
I think so.
Ready?
That was way easier with 2 people. Well, Derek's working on the exhaust. I'm going to start taking these calipers off, getting the new brakes put on. Need stop power for the big tires we're putting on here.
So we're in Roger's shop here trying to fix up this brake line a little bit. The banjo bolt is too big to fit the new extended brake lines, which we need because of the lift. The factory ones are going to be too short in brake. So we're just rigging this up in the bench, what is this called? Drill press?
Drill press, yep.
And we're going to, make it bigger. At least that's the idea. You get in that way if I bring it around?
There we go.
There. I don't know. Smooth operator. I don't know if that's a song, but it is now. So here's what we were running on the K5, some miscellaneous snow tire. It's a 225 60/16 or something like that. Not gonna cut it up in the hills. So we got to have a little bit of an upgrade here. And I wanted that classic look. So we went with 35, 12.5, 15 Super Swamper boggers on some good old American racing wheels here. Just really screams 1999 and, I don't know, Guns N' Roses. You know what I mean? So we'll throw this on. I think it's going to look awesome. Yep. That's exactly what I was looking for. We put some weight on this, though. We might have to get out the old do a little karate on the fender, but looks awesome. Sean's been working hard on the steering stabilizer here. It stabilizes your steering. But really, when you put bigger tires and wheels on like this, these are almost impossible to balance. What ends up happening is your steering wheel starts bouncing all over the place. This is going to help dampen that with the dual kit new ones. This is the original OEM one, and you can tell it's bad because of the way that it is, basically. So this is going to replace just this little guy back here and hopefully keep us on the road a little bit. Like a trombone. That was really stupid. I hope I never do that again in my life. So we're gonna go ahead and flip the blazer around here. We'll get the rear of the lift taken care of, and then we've got a terribly bad U-joint up here we've got to address, but we're just trying to get the lift done, and then we'll start addressing all the little stuff.
Oh. Completely bent that shock mount there.
Well, I've got a lot of the same going on here in the rear. It's basically rinse and repeat of the front, brake lines, shocks, U-bolts, springs, you name it. So while I'm doing this, you've got to check out Roger's Weifel's car collection. We got more of a museum going with the automobilia and everything
it's
else.
fun.
So you guys can go check out his collection. I know you're going to enjoy it.
This is my 40 Ford Coupe Deluxe. When I was young, that was the second most popular car in America.
All that gas is probably good.
68 Camaro I bought from the original owner when gas went up to 58 cents. He's not going to pay that. He bought a Volkswagen. Most valuable car, this is a Buick station wagon. It wasn't valuable when I bought it in '62, but it's very valuable now.
Roger's collection is so big, it would literally take hours to drink it all up. The best thing to do, honestly, is stop by, say hi to him, and check it out for yourself. There we go.
Installed.
Ow! Fixed.
We're geniuses.
Well, we got the old fuel tank out, and it's full of dirt and varnish and about everything you could think of. Legos, chicken bones, who knows. We don't have a new sending unit, though. However, this one looks absolutely pristine. The fuel gauge, I believe, was working. I'm going to ohm this out really quick with a multimeter. Just make sure it's working. And then we got to reassemble all of this and get it back in the truck. Mark Chestnut's on tour.
Oh.
Stubborn wheel. Whoever made these clamps, I just want them fully, like, door kicked in, FBI audit. Man. Okay.
Let it go. It's already gone.
Well, here we are at the end of day 2, plugging away on the K5 Blazer here. Quite a bit done today. We got the lift kit done with new shocks, brake lines, the steering stabilizer kit as well. The tires and wheels changed the whole look of the truck. I think it looks really great. New fuel tank, sending unit cleaned up, fuel lines, oil change. We're getting very, very close to taking this thing wheeling, but we're losing daylight, so we'll see you bright and early tomorrow.
take this K5 off-roading in the Black Hills here, and we're getting so close. Now it runs, it's got a lift, it's got tires and wheels, it's got a fuel system, ignition system, but we still need to take a little test drive in this thing. If all goes well, we could be wheeling tonight, tomorrow, very soon.
Hopefully.
So we're gonna run up the hill. There's a bunch of stuff in the back, tires, wheels. It's a good excuse to just go putt around and see our progress to date. Let's do this thing.
I'm in.
Well, before we start wrenching today, I think the guy's going to actually go ahead and pressure wash everything, clean everything up. Then we're going to push it back, make a punch list, and divide and conquer. Well, the guy went ahead and cranked up the accountability. Made a punch list here. It looks like quite a bit, but basically we can break this into hopping up the engine, and then we've got basically axle repair and fender cutting and things like that. But John's already removing the front axle shaft. Got to get a U-joint in that. We might end up doing both sides, just trying to be preventative. New carb, performance intake, throw some valve covers on it, put in a new aluminum radiator. Got to fix the alternator bracket. Hook up the fuel tank that we put in, battery hold down, cut the fenders, brake light repair, remove the top, delete the heater core, check the rear diff, I did the front one, check all the fluids, fill it up with gas, and finally, off-road. I'm pretty optimistic we'll have this done today. No, it's gonna be here a while. So we went ahead and got the engine tore down here. Everything looks good. Went through the rockers, the push rods, the lifters, kind of a visual inspection. Looks pretty good. Pulled off the water pump, inspected that. That seems fine. Cleaned it up, threw that back on. So now I can start slapping some speed parts on. We'll put a air gap intake on it, an Edelbrock carburetor, some shiny parts in there. They'll add horsepowers, you know. John's down there cleaning and rebuilding the knuckles, putting new ball joints and stuff in. Not really. But he did get the axles out. We're going to get those rebuilt, put all that in. And he was able to knock free the old steering arm. So we're going to go ahead and put that different steering arm in there as well. Not really needed again with this particular lift, but we have it. Let's go ahead and throw it on. We're having some pretty good progress. I think we're going to have it buttoned up by the end of the day. I shouldn't have said that, but I did. We put in a bigger aluminum radiator and 2 whirly-woos to blow the wind on the motors, you know. We're gonna wire all this in, get the digital fan set up with an automatic temp switch. So when it reaches 180 degrees, bingo, bango, those fans kick on and the engine stays cool, in theory.
We had this a long time. I bought it in the central part of South Dakota, and then my son working over in Iowa had it over there for a while. We did drive it years ago, but it's had a long time. That's not good for him. I moved my car lot, and this baby pulled him across the creek. It was down a bank, across the water, and up, and I had a skittish guy riding with me, and he just screaming. He wouldn't do it again. I put the poor thing through his paces. I should have had these tires and wheels on it. Poor old thing, it did me well, that's for sure. But it's going on to better pastures now. Never looked that nice under the hood before, that's for sure.
What would you do with something like that?
Me?
Yeah.
Put a plow on it for South Dakota.
Yeah.
I got a plow.
The state might hire you to clear the fire trails.
That's a thought.
All right, so initial fire up went well. I got about 12 degrees initial timing with the lightning whirler and everything there. Very basic setup on the fuel make it happener. Now we'll stick a vacuum gauge on it. After I set timing, we'll dial in the fuel make it happener, get the timing dialed in, everything like that. Dump some water into the new radiator and let this thing warm back up. Confirm that the coolie things do the cooling thing. John's putting on seat covers. We're getting very down to the bottom of our punch list, which is pretty good. Well, the K5's come a long ways. We're on the same hillside, but we're out of the weeds, and it looks a lot different.
We knocked out that list pretty good today, but we did come up with a few smaller things we want to do in the morning really quick. And then, what do you say we just head straight up and do some wheeling?
Absolutely.
That's going to be a lot of fun. We'll see you guys bright in the morning. We're going off-road. For 3 decades, this K5 sat with a suspected bad transfer case. Lo and behold, putting U-joints in the front axle, I think, solved that issue.
I believe so.
This truck is ready to not only see if it's roadworthy, but potentially off-road worthy. You ready to do this?
Yes, sir.
Let's go find some trails. I mean, it rides really smooth.
It does, right? What happened? Did we hit rock or something?
I think the shocks were a good call. They seem to be working really, really well. I'm so blessed to do what I do, man. It's not even funny. Except for this door lock in my armpit right now.
That's why I'm doing this.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Don't do that a lot.
That's how you break U-joints.
Yes, it is.
Okay, noted. You know, like they say, the path least chosen is the shortest distance.
And it sure is.
What is on my hand? Where is this coming from?
It's yellow, whatever it is.
Ah, smells terrible. Bird poop? Finally, some mud.
My head almost hit the roof there.
Years sitting in a field, to hitting mud holes, climbing rock hills, riding the trails, having fun. This thing is a blast. I don't think I've giggled this much in quite a while. It's been a fun couple days, and of course, all the feels. Roger had to stop in and just pour the stories on about how he used this exact truck to move his car dealership, pull cars to the creek, all of this crazy stuff. Dolores, his wife, stopped in, who is so sweet, who usually isn't emotionally attached to cars, hugged me and said, have so many memories in this car. Todd, his son, stopped in. He drove it for a couple of years. I mean, it feels incredible to be a part of that. We've still got quite a few miles to get back down the hill, do some more wheeling. We got plenty of tread left, but I have an idea of what to do with this truck.
I think I might know what you have in mind.
First, we got to get back down. Ouch. Dang it. That's not a funny bone. What do you think?
Did you make it home, apparently?
Yeah.
You got it muddy.
Well, a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
We had a lot of fun.
rode the trails for quite a while, found a little mud.
Yeah, I see you've been going a while.
Yeah, it runs great.
That's what your brother said.
I mean, it went everywhere we pointed it,
Isn't
honestly.
that nice? Well,
And
you
then
guys
some.
did a lot of work, too.
Well,
Of
I mean,
course,
yeah,
you know.
it was some wrenching. I know I'm supposed to drive it home, but I think it has more history here with you.
Oh.
And hearing all the stories you told, and Todd and Dolores, I think the right thing to do and what I'm going to do is just leave it here with you.
Are you kidding me?
No.
We'll save it from everything but hail. And anytime you want it, it'll be here.
All
And I
right.
won't lose the key.
Well, leave it in it.
Somehow,
Leave it in.
I usually do.
I know. I heard you murmur that you wanted a plow truck. What better rig?
And I got a plow. Derek, you're going to make tears in my eyes.
No. You've shared so much information and knowledge and helped me out so much over the years. That's the least I can do. Well, that's going to do it. We made a K5 sitting in the field for 3 decades. It's now roadworthy and off-road worthy. And we gave it back to the original owner, Roger, here. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned. There's plenty more to say. Thanks again, Roger.
Well, thank you.
Appreciate it. In this episode of Roadworthy Rescues, I bought a Model A Ford. Some assembly required. Great. I'm in Detroit, Michigan, standing in front of what was originally Hetch Motor Sales. It was not only the first Ford dealership in Detroit, but all of Michigan. Today it's called MC3, where folks can store and wrench on their projects. And speaking of projects, in the very far back lot sits our newest one. Let's go find it. This is really cool. This dealership opened in 1922. This is the original showroom. Obviously, 100 years now this building's been here, and this is a very fine example of the vehicles you would find in the showroom back in the day. This is a 1911 Model T, the vehicle that changed the world, essentially. They've actually located a cheat sheet here I'm holding, where salesmen could go through and give you a price on a new automobile, and something similar to this back then, $327.60 out the door. Let's wander through the service center, see if we can find the back lot. It's beautiful. So here's our newest project, tucked back here in the corner. It's a 1928 Ford Model 8. Well, we think it's a 28. It's been Frankenstein. There's 29 parts and all sorts of stuff on here. We're told this hasn't run since 1958, 60 plus some years. And it's a little rough. So right away we can see that these are 29 headlights and clearly not the right fenders. This Sport Coupe would have had the spare on the rear of the vehicle. This has a provision on both sides, so it's a pretty weird setup on this thing. Here's your temp gauge. You just watch that guy there, which you don't really need to. They're hot. It's gonna get hot, that's fine. It's got some pretty good rubber on the thing. Well, that's also worth mentioning. These are not the right wheels. These would be like from a 30, kind of a weird color too. Here's where you throw the kids, I guess. Oh, it looks fine. These are covers to the spares. Them will polish up. No, they're pretty much junk. Let's just pretend we didn't see that, basically. So this is another kind of quirky feature here. The
Glandu irons on this. Kind of something on the coupe. The sport coupe here was $100 more, and it was sporty because it was light, didn't have all the iron and stuff in here. Cabriolet would have folded down. The deluxe coupe, the standard coupe, all the other coupes had a window. Let's see if we can get in this thing. Yeah. Immediately regret this decision. Well, the door cards are covered in bathroom floor mats. Extra fuzzy, that's great. Seat is a little worn, you know. Smells like a garbage disposal full of rusty watches. It's very, very unique. Got an aftermarket oil pressure gauge thing. Still got the pop-out ignition, which is, well, it's not popping. This here is pretty cool. That's choke if you pull it, but you can actually dial in your air-fuel mixture just by turning that knob. 48 pedals in here, looks like some sort of Boeing aircraft. This is pretty cool. We've got service tags on here. 1959. What's the mileage on this one? Yeah, the tag here says the mileage is 16,399 when it was serviced, and there's 16,520 on the clock. That's incredible. That's 60-some years this car's been off the road. Let's see what we got under here. There it is. Little 4-cylinder flathead. Now, someone's been in here and tinkering around. I think that was the previous owner. It looks like he got into it trying to do a restoration and it kind of just stopped. And that's when we got our hands on it. But it looks complete. Not an original head. Charging whirler stuff is on there. Lightning whirler stuff is in here. It's got the original Widowmaker on here. Those don't cool so much, but they do fly off. So that's neat. So here's what a guy is thinking, which I know that's scary in itself, but I want to get this thing running and driving safely. So brakes, steers, hopefully doesn't overheat. We got to take care of this top. Obviously, we're not going to be doing a restoration. We're just going to make it better, protect the inside from rotting, hopefully, and maybe keep the hair from blowing around a little bit. You know what I mean? Maybe spiff the paint up a little bit. Then obviously the interior, well, it needs help. Get rid of the bathroom rug door covers. Might have to cut some new floors in, which, well, that's wood. That's not going to be so bad. And if all goes well, since we're in Detroit, I want to take this Model A and go cruise around and see some historic Ford buildings and all the history here in town. Well, I hope. Well, we're going to be doing a lot of wrenching under this hood, so I think what I'm actually going to do is just go ahead and delete on it for now. Hood off. I guess it's time to dig into the ignition here. This is way before lightning hoses. Just a little strip of metal here. Guy could use some barbed wire if he's in a pinch or whatever you need, as long as it conducts electricity. It looks like we're going to need a coil wire. Oh, the good news is that's been full of water. Points are severely corroded. The timing and throttle controls are actually on the column, and each click you can add timing, pulling hills, stuff like that. Otherwise, fuel efficiency, performance, you can throw some timing in the thing and scoot around a little bit. I think I'm going to pull the sparkulators out. That was brand new. It's like straight 30 weight. Does have quite a bit of viscosity though, so I think we're safe to run it for at least a couple minutes. So I'm just gonna take off this aftermarket heater here. Dig it into the ignition system here. I'm gonna go ahead and just replace everything. Distributor cap, rotor, all the connections, the wire, even the switch. We're gonna go ahead and put a new key in this thing. It's just one of those things we gotta get done. Yeah. It smells like vinegar. That's kind of nice. I wonder what Reba McEntire's doing. To her, hopefully. Wonder if I could just bend this. So it's time to actually time the engine here. We need to get this on top dead center before we go any farther. And the Ford here has a really neat feature. It's a built-in timing pin, this little guy right here. And this is a spare gear I brought with just in case. You can see this little dimple or depression here, I guess it would be. As the engine rotates around, the pin's going to fall into that, and that's going to signal that we're at top dead center. And then we just pull this out, pop it back in again. Really simple. So we're going to need fuel, obviously. Dennis, the guy around here that works on the T's and some of the other cars, says, I got something for you. Nice little jug here. NHRA clamps. We definitely need clean fuel though, and this is going to do it for now. Still not, that's not looking there yet. I just want to hear this run, then we'll go through that nightmare. So before we jam some fire maker down into the fuel, make it happen here, I'm going to go ahead, snag it off, crack it open, and just make sure that, well, fuel can happen. And it is in fact rebuilt. A little bit of juice in there, that's doing the thing. Gaskets in great condition, all new hardware. So I'll put this back together and get it on. Neutralis. Nothing. So this starter solenoid, which by the way is not the original solenoid, has failed. No go. The good news is I know how to jumpstart this. So let's go right to gone in 60 seconds mode. I'm suspecting no spark. No, that is sparking. Well, we just got to try to find the right combination of fuel, throttle, and choke here. And it's going to take a little bit of, I don't know, guessing. Pouring fuel. It's getting fuel. No doubt about that. Give it a little bit of nitrous oxide. Terrible. Don't ever do that to your car, please. It's got throttle. Gab is open. Choke. It's smoking more out of the carburetor than it is the... Oh, is the exhaust plugged? Oh yeah, rust just poured out of that thing. Look at all this that came out of just the inlet of that muffler. Oh wow. Huh. This hopefully should be it. More throttle. I gotta get this combination right. Oh, I don't think there's any compression left in this thing. I think that might be the starter smoking. Near, far, wherever you are. Fade to black, commercial scene. So we're out here in Detroit working on this Model A, and this thing is really fighting us. 64 years sitting, it's just not wanting to go right now. Working down the list here, we've got sparkles, we've got fuel. The last thing is compression. So I'm going to go ahead and run a compression test on this and just see where we're at and potentially put some oil in there. Who knows? There may not be enough, to make combustion. 32 pounds of compression. That's not good. Number 2 is dead. Completely. Number 3, 32 and a half. Number 4, 1 pound? No, that's 0. So that's fine. It'll probably come back around again. No, not at all. Okay, all right. We got oil. Wow. Well, that one's stuck. It's not coming down. Oh, right in the center of the kneecap. That's my favorite. Well, the exhaust valve on 2 and 4 are stuck, as you can see. So I'm going to do the right thing and just stick various objects down the sparkulator hole and just spray as much goop of any sort of chemical I can find that says lubricant or rust killer or penetrant or don't drink.
for pulling a motor. Losing light here pretty quick, so I think what I'm going to do is there's plenty of room in the old service shop. I'm going to get this inside, get some better light on it, and introduce to you a friend, my secret weapon. We could tear into this thing a little bit better. So on the Vice Grip Garage YouTube channel, I got an old Model A that was sitting forever, got it running, and I drove it home 700 miles, and my good friend Paul Shin here was a big part of that success. He is a Model A genius. So when I called him when I was looking at this one, he told me a couple words. What were they?
I said, don't buy it.
Pretty much flat out, don't buy it. So not only did I buy it, but then I talked him into coming out to help me with this thing. So where we're at, Paul, is we've got ignition, spark, much thanks to your distributor that you rebuilt for me, but we've got 2 stuck valves in this thing. So where are we at?
It's definitely time to pull the head.
Play some whack-a-mole with some valves?
Yep.
All right.
Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to shove a bunch of rope down in the cylinders. So I've got number 1 and number 4 all the way down. Number 2 and 3 are at top dead center. And then we're going to hit the starter and the head's going to bounce right off. Or break. Whichever.
This is better than my option, which involved a really big torch and hammer. So, am I doing the cranking?
Yeah, I mean, you're standing there, so might as well. It's your car.
How long do I just tell it?
It'll just pop right up.
I'll be dipped. This is the oddest head removal I've ever seen in my life, but I'm enjoying it.
Oh, man. She's a little carboned up there, Derek.
Oh, it's kind of like Play-Doh, actually. Someone got a Ziploc bag. We're going to need a lot more brake cleaner.
Oh, yeah. There's an open valve. There's an open valve. Right now, this should be down.
Okay. So.
Oh, it's moving.
That didn't take much force at all.
There it goes.
That was it? Wow. Should we just spin it again and see if they bounce?
Yep.
Boom.
Boom.
Paul, this might run.
Yep, it'll run like this.
Oh, looks even worse. Good. For tonight, I'm going to go ahead and soak this down. Make sure that those rings, well, give them the best chance possible. What a tremendous day wrenching. I think we're in a really good position tomorrow. Get everything reassembled and hear this car run for the first time in 397 million years. I don't know. It's a lot. See you bright and early tomorrow. Day 2 of our Model A build. Where do we start today?
I think it's time to start with this. Let's
Fuel.
get the soup out of the fuel tank.
Great. I'll find a vacuum.
Better be a strong one. Nothing sketchy about this at all.
Oh, that smells. Real good. Oh. Wow.
Oh. That's horrendous.
It's like deck stain. Oh. Oh yeah, that's plugged completely solid. Oh, that smells even better on this end. It's like burnt cat toes. Okay, we need some liquids to pour in there. Most of it's just going into my retinas. So, just safety squint, just keep doing it. So Paul has successfully vacuumed. Now what we're gonna do is dump some fuel into the tank. He's gonna dance in the car, shake it up a little bit. We're gonna screen that, refill the jug, however long it takes until the stuff coming out of the tank might be flammable, and not plug the shutoff valve or the filter. One bedside pan. That's a cigarette. That's a hand-rolled cigarette.
Oh, it smells.
higher than Willie Nelson skydiving right now. I wonder what Alan Jackson's doing today. Probably something similar. Yeah, see, there's like a baffle. That's where all the chunks are from, is the baffles. I mean, it looks like the bow of the Titanic. I think we're fine. So it's finally time to move on to bolting parts back on this thing. I'm going to start by cleaning up this head right here, get the head gasket out and ready, get this back on, then we'll move on to all the other stuff.
Oh, it's putty. Okay. Great. Probably not supposed to be that dark.
So while Paul's tearing into the oil pan, I talked him into the dirty job, you know. I'm going to go ahead and take the wheel off, take the spindle off, inspect the brakes. Ooh, those have been Craigslist rebuilt. Oh, brand new shoe pads. That's great news.
We're halfway there now.
So this car actually has mechanical brakes, which is really nice. It actually runs on these rods. So when you hit the brake pedal, they all run on levers, essentially, all 4 tires. So we don't have any wheel cylinders or master cylinders or brake lines to replace. Finally. It's great news.
We'll see how much sludge is in the bottom of this.
Look at the wear on it.
That's fantastic. It's a Model A. It's not a Formula One car.
Massive reassembly time?
Let's do it. Can I borrow one of your fingers, please?
Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh, thank you. 1, 2, 3. Nice. Awesome.
This is cleaner than my grandma's driving record over here. Yeah, so, since we're so far into this engine, I'm just, finished rebuilding this here. This is a terrible color, but it's the closest we can get to the original old school blue Ford, which isn't on the shelf, at your typical parts store. So better than John Deere green. We're getting ready to do a compression test on this engine again. Well, we've cleaned everything up. We've got the valves unstuck. We cleaned the cylinders. We've dropped the pan, cleaned everything out there. We've got new gaskets all the way around. The goal is, hopefully, we're going to be hitting around 45 pounds of pressure. We'll see what happens here. Paul's going to jump the starter for me. Ready? Okay. Okay. We've got almost 45.
Right on. All right.
Okay, number 2. Oh, that's not good.
What do we get?
That was about 8 pounds. Go ahead. 25.
Okay.
And this one was
Ready?
dead. Yeah. Okay. And that one's about 22, 23. So we've got improvements on all of them except that pesky number 2.
Oh, you think that exhaust valve stuck itself again?
I don't know. We rolled it over several times, the head off.
Has to be that valve seat.
Blowing past the seat.
Yep. Has to be.
Well, in this case, that's major machine work.
That's major machine work. But one of 2 things can happen. You can run it can get hot, it can clear itself out. Or it never clears out.
Yeah, hopefully some heat. Blow the cobwebs out of it.
Right.
Full choke, go ahead. Not spilling fuel. Flooded.
Fuel off. Let's say we pour some fuel in there, put the plug in, hook it up, see if it goes bang.
This engine might just be too done to go. go. Day 3 on the Motor City Model A. We're trying to get this stubborn old thing to run. And unfortunately, late last night, I think we finally came to grips that it's probably just too tired and it's not going to do it. All right now is perusing around Detroit trying to find another engine as a potential replacement. While he's doing that, I'm going to just start tearing this thing apart. So by the time he gets back, we can hopefully start pulling this thing out. That ain't gonna work. Rod's out.
We're here about 45 minutes outside of Detroit. We found a Model A motor online for sale. It's used, but we're going to check it out. Well, it's definitely used. Looks like it's been modified to be in a tractor of some kind. I mean, at the core of this is a Model A motor, that's for sure. I think do a compression test on this to see what we got. There we go. Yes! All right, compression check commencing. Yeah, that is a real compression rating now. 55 on that one. I've got 57 on that one. Look at that, 58. 62. Okay, this does have good compression. So this isn't a perfect engine, but it's a lot better than what we have right now. So I think we're gonna go ahead and buy this thing and take it back to the shop.
So this is what budget got us, huh?
This is budget.
So it came out of a tractor, very dirty, but
Taste it.
fresh oil,
Minty.
like brand new.
Yeah,
You said it's got good compression.
excellent compression.
All the other doodads we have. So we just got to put a clutch on it, change out this flywheel thing, put it back together, get it in the car. Nice find. Motor City, man. So this particular one, we are running out of time if we're going to pull this off. We beautified the other one. It ain't going to happen here. We're going to throw it together, basically make the best engine we can out of the two, get it in the car as quickly as possible, because we still got to fix the universe roof and brakes and clutch, stuff like that.
There it is. Stay there, don't move.
Go clockwise for stock performance, counterclockwise if you want to hop it up.
We'll pretend that didn't happen.
Never happened.
Ooh, yeah.
Sweet.
Machined,
Done.
ready to go. So I'm actually using another transmission shaft as a clutch alignment tool instead of the actual tool. Redneck 101.
Here we go. Up, C, D, Z.
Faster but slower.
Gotta come back. Tilt. There you go. Like that.
There.
We have contact. Lightning hose is hooked up. Lightning can is hooked up. Lightning whirler is in. We got a fuel hose hooked into the oldest fuel make it happener on the property. Sucker's gonna run right now.
Yes. Yes, 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 yes.
Bump the throttle, choke, okay?
It's alive.
Yes.
Awesome. Good job.
Good job.
It's a titch loud.
Little what? Huh?
Okay, so
Someone
now,
answer that phone!
so now we've got to hurry up and get it loaded on a trailer. We've got a very special appointment at Detroit Exotic Auto Interiors. They're actually going to work all the way through the night to get a top and the interior put back in this thing. So you and I have a full day of wrenching tomorrow and can finish everything else up. The car was just dropped off this morning back from upholstery, and wow, has it transformed. The curvature and everything, seats look great, but now it's up to us to finish this thing here. I've got to do something with the paint, so I'm going to completely rebuild it. And by that I mean and maybe a little bit of polishing, but I think we're going to have to divide and conquer. Why don't I start sanding on the hood? What are you going to start with?
I'm gonna do the radiator, put the hoses on, and then we'll see if this thing holds water.
All right, let's hit it.
So this is a standard GM single wire alternator that has been converted to 6-volt positive ground, so it can be used in a Model A with a stock electrical system. It'll A, not overcharge the battery, B, give us decently bright headlights regardless of the engine speed, and C, it just looks cool. That should still go there. I mean, that's actually perfect, just like it is.
No leaks yet?
No, not yet.
Had to find some sandpaper. This is slightly advanced. Normally it'd start off with like 80 grit or something like that, but I'm gonna go straight to 1 grit. See, keep it level though. You don't want any low spots. We'll be at that SEMA show in no time. Whew. Looks like a small block Chevy bracket.
Yeah, that's what it is. I was looking for the longer one. I know the tension's pretty critical on these. Also, you need a fine adjustment anyway.
Dang, that's perfect.
So this is Dennis. He's a member and instructor here at MC3, and he's been a huge help, not only with all your tools and everything else, but his knowledge has just been phenomenal. And he's got some cool cars here too, actually. You gonna show us your T real quick?
Yeah, we'll take a tour of the showroom and I'll show you the Model T Coupe.
Awesome, very cool.
Okay, we're here in the showroom of one of the first Ford dealership that was on Grand Boulevard. This is a 1912 Model T Coupe. It's got that fastback look to it. It has very nice interior. The motor's been all rebuilt. It's got a high compression head on it. They were very simple operating. So you had your throttle, which is your gas on your right hand. Your advance was on your left hand. You had a switch basically instead of a key to make contact. There's 3 pedals. Reverse is the middle pedal, and then this is a high and low. This actually has a strap for 3 adjustments on the windows, and then you've got your throttle adjustment here for your carburetor, lean mixture, and then choke. That's an acetylene generator. It runs acetylene gas, it runs through this hose, and you use it just like propane. You would open this up and actually light it. It came from the mining industry because it was a safe way of having something that was ignitable gas. It's been used in several parades. We use it for dignitaries around Detroit, but basically, it's a representation of what was built in Highland Park. So we're just glad to see it here down in the city and down at the old dealership.
we don't catch on fire when we're trying to drive along is I've added an inline fuse to the electrical system. The Model A did not come with a fused electrical system, but it's a really, really good idea to do this. We won't catch on fire now.
Oh, that's neat. Well, the hood's gonna be shiny. I don't think he cares. Got everything else prepped here. They got kind of a booth in here as an exhaust fan. Actually, I'm going to be rattle canning this right next to a Corvette Stingray. That's real life. Great. No, that's a bad idea. Like Rihanna says, shine bright like a diamond. Or something like that. Yeah. So let's just go to plan B. Lawnmower tank to the rescue. Strap it up here on the tire. If it works, is it really a dumb idea? You know what I mean? Give me fuel. I'll give you fire.
Yes. Is on.
Oh. This is way smaller than my two-door.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Ignition on.
Should just
Choke.
go. You're in gear.
My clutch is in. Which is not good.
Uh-oh.
Well, so far it appears the clutch does not work.
So we have a little work to do on that.
Paul was under the car already looking at the clutch when he was adjusting the brake rods and everything there, and it's super corroded. There is some adjustment left, but, I mean, 6 decades sitting there, rusting. So we're going to see if we can break loose the linkages.
I can push the clutch pedal down and give you a little bit more room. Almost.
Oh. Back? Oh, I think I just had a hernia. Yes!
Shoot!
Victorious. Yes!
Dude, yes!
We're in business. Let's do this. All right, we're gonna get cleaned up, pack some tools, and we're gonna take you guys to an incredible destination. Your mind is gonna be bottled. Mine already is, and I'm not even there yet.
We're gonna remember this forever.
Oh, absolutely. Well, Paul, it's been a week. Highs, lows, highs again, and more lows. Everything from putting together an engine, all the accessories just to find out it was bad, to finding a $500 unknown condition face space engine, putting it in again, clutch, floors, brakes, pretty much everything. But here we are, ready to put this car back on the road in over 6 decades. You ready?
I can't wait. I'm excited.
All right, let's go. You get in a lot easier than me. Can you imagine how many Fords drove out of that building?
Oh, man. No, we just did, too.
This is a blast. Cruise like this all day long. Second gear. Smooth, too, actually.
Little advance. Oh, that was a little rough.
The Corvette suspension isn't
Yes,
quite
that's
broken
right.
yet. Thermometer. Already getting hot, yeah. I also can't see anything above the hood because of how tall I am. I have to drive like Lurch, like or Bowser in a go-kart.
Bunko drive car now.
Yeah. Good job on the brakes.
That's the most important part.
I can't believe the amp gauge works. It's charging. It's incredible.
The radiator overflow.
We gotta get some wind in this thing.
Yeah, it's getting hot. They're not made for this.
Oaktown Museum.
We're definitely in Detroit.
First paved road, first stoplight,
Yeah.
which is really a guy in a crow's nest and a whistle.
What a job.
Man, this is incredible. I love how fascinated people are with A's.
Oh, they love them. I say it all the time. Model A's make people happy.
They do.
They really do.
Fisher Building, that is incredible.
That's amazing, isn't it?
I bought a microwave. I built the world's largest marble structure. We're here, we might as well go down Woodward Avenue.
Let's do it. Oh, nice double clutch downshift.
Thank you. You know, I know that you're used to doing everything by the book with Model A's, rightfully so, but we had to cut a few corners to pull this one off, but I have to ask you, what's the alternative in that case?
Well, that's the thing, though. If we hadn't done what we did here, this thing would still be out there rotting, and it would just end up getting scrapped. At least it's on the road now. Okay, it's not perfect. It's not a fine point judging Model A, but it's on the road again.
Exactly. And in 4.5 days, it's roadworthy.
Resurrected.
And bumpy. Those watching have probably figured out by now we're going to a Ford plant.
Very historic place.
6 stories tall. Incredible. Here's what's left of some of the manufacturing here.
Amazing. Look at all the brickwork.
You know, the team started in 1908. Henry immediately commissioned this building, gambling, thinking it was going to take off, which it did. It took 2 years to build. And then in 1910, the Model Ts were moved over here. He either had a very good vision or he just liked rolling the dice. This is a bucket list for me.
Same here.
There's the corporate offices.
Right there. Let's do this.
This is incredible. Wow. So here we are at the Highland Park Ford plant. We actually just pulled into the executive garage. Henry Ford himself parked here for many, many years. This is absolutely incredible. What a whirlwind week, and this is an awesome way to end it.
This is really, 4.5 days of complete thrash on this car. So we found this thing. It had been sitting for over 60 years, abandoned. We brought this thing to life. It's amazing. I can't believe the transformation.
A lot of work in 4.5 days, right?
Yeah, well, no sleep, and look what you can do.
Yeah. So not only did we get the wrench on this thing in the first Ford dealership in Detroit, but we brought it back to where legend has it this thing was prototyped and designed right here in these executive buildings.
Goosebumps, man.
Absolutely incredible. And what's amazing is, in 1913, this was the first automobile factory that had a moving assembly line.
That's right.
And they were able to build a complete Model T in just 93 minutes. Think about that. That's insane. Eventually, over 15 million Model Ts would be produced, and then came the A and so forth. It's just incredible how much history we're in. Should we walk around for a little bit, check this place out?
Oh, gosh. I was hoping you would ask. Yes.
Well, that's going to do it. Car off the road for 6 decades. Back roadworthy, but stay tuned. There's a lot more cars to rescue. Let's check this place out. That's a good screen.
'Cause it's too cold for you here and now, so let me hold both your hands in the holes of my sweater. And all I am is a man. I want the world in my hands. I hate the beach, but I stand in California with my toes in the sand. Use the sleeves of my sweater. Let's have an adventure. Head in the clouds, but my gravity's centered. Touch my neck, and I'll touch yours. You in those little high-waisted shorts. Oh, she knows what I think about, and what I think about. One love, two mouths. One love, one house. No shirt, no blouse. Just us to find out. Nothing that I wouldn't want to tell you about. No, 'cause it's too cold for you here and now, so let me hold both your hands in the holes of my sweater. And if I may just take a breath away, I don't mind if there's not much to say. Sometimes the silence guides a mind to move to a place so far away. Yeah, the goosebumps start to race the minute that my left hand meets your waist. And then I watch your face, put my finger on your tongue 'cause you love the taste, yeah. These hearts adore everyone the other beats hardest for. Inside this place is warm, outside it starts to pour. Coming down, one love, two mouths. One love, one house. No shirt, no blouse. Just us to find out. Nothing that I wouldn't want to tell you about. No, no, no. 'Cause it's too cold for you here and now, so let me hold both your hands in the holes of my sweater.
Roadworthy Rescues. We save a forgotten Pontiac that sat for 30 years and converted to EFI. There it is. No. For forgotten classic cars has brought us to the middle of nowhere in Illinois. We're going to be picking up a vehicle that's been off the road for about 30 years or so. It's not this beautiful Sierra 35. It's somewhere back here buried in a shed. Let's go find it. Is that a 1250 Cub Cadet? Nice. This guy's got a lot of good stuff laying around here. I see a, I don't know, 80s Corvette. It's probably got that tune port in it. 40 Ford. See that from a mile away. This thing is covered in ants. This is really cool. I think this is like a 64 Ford. But we got a 460 in here. Keep going. Looks like a 50 Plymouth. You don't see those a lot. And here is the car that we're after. 1966 Pontiac Tempest. There's two reasons I was really interested in this car. One,
It's a four-door, and four-doors wagons are really hot, and I've always liked them my whole life, to be honest. But the biggest reason is what's under this hood, and it's probably not what you're thinking. There it is. The OHC Straight 6, or overhead cam engine. This thing is really neat. Goal today is to get this thing running, and I've got to drive this thing 300 miles back to the shop where we can continue working on it. I think the first step is we just got to push this thing out of this garage. It's really tight in here, and we can get a better look at what we got going on. Yeah, not so much rolling. What a cool looking car, huh? Looks like the shed's got some termites, maybe. Pontiac made the Tempest from 60 to 1970 and a Gid from 87 to 91, but we'll pretend those newer years don't exist. You're welcome. This one here is obviously a four-door post, but 66, you could get one without the post, so it'd be a hard top. It's like a late 80s, early 90s restoration here, and that's where this is going to get interesting. We were told this has been off the road for 30 years, so could get a little spicy. Actually, exceptionally clean, with the exception of a lifter, and actually this is a really good time to explain how this engine works. Traditional pushrod engines have the cam somewhere in the block, right? And then you have push rods and lifters and rocker arms that run the valve train. Well, in this unit, the cam is on top of the engine, and the lobes basically operate off of this, and this is what's opening and closing the valve train. So this is a little bit concerning that there's just random valve train parts back here. Either it's missing or maybe it's been replaced. I don't know. Let's jump on the inside and see what we got going on in here. Oh, it smells like a potato sack full of used knee braces. It's not good. It's not good, but bed liner is about perfect. About 14 different flavors of mold growing in here. 15, very reminiscent of the GTO right here. Air conditioning. Holy dips. Doubtful very that works. AM. And the FM. Frequency modulation. Oh, it's one of those bottom exit units. I mean, it's a pretty solid car. Oh, we got boom booms in the back. You know, the Warren G's, got some speakers. Shift linkage is there. Blinker stick seems to be doing stick things. Sure, good enough to get home. Let's take a closer look under the power barn here. Come up with a plan, maybe. Nope, just gonna wing it, but yeah, this thing is really neat. And at first glance, I mean, everything seems to be here. Definitely has had a Craigslist rebuild done. You know, brand new. Lost the receipts. This might not be too bad. Fingers crossed. The one huge hiccup we could have here is a fiberglass reinforced timing belt that runs this whole contraption. So if that thing isn't, you know, doing the thing, the engine doesn't run. And that is a mess doing that job. So I got a ratchet down here on the crank. I'm gonna hold that with one hand so it doesn't interfere with the ratchet. Try to roll this thing over 360 degrees. I'll get my ear meter out, extended about 3 millimeter. And then we're gonna listen, make sure we hear the valve train turning and everything like that. Then we know the belt's in good condition and the engine's not stuck. Oh yeah, it's turning. It doesn't feel that bad. Usually you can feel like ring ridges, things like that. I think we're in good shape there. That is fantastic news. Let's move on to the ignition system. I don't know, start probing things, make lights come on and off on the tools. And then once we get sparkles to the engine, we'll figure out a fuel system at that point. Got a very specific battery for this rig, because it's got a go handle, you know. Slide this in. All right, so now we'll go ahead and throw the ignition sticks in, park check, key on, and then we'll go ahead and move towards seeing if we got spark at the old sparkulators.
my little blinky test light thingy.
All right, we're gonna crank her over, see if we got any spark. Oh, that sounded terrible. I'm already about 114.2% positive. The points, the contacts aren't pointing. Did a little bit of rooting around in there, and this one, I don't know. That's not right. So there's a chance the guy's thinking this was grounding out on the case of the distributor there. Got a new contact set here. We'll pop this in and it should get us going. Okay, light bulb should do light bulb things. And it is. We've got the spark. We got sparks now. So, we got to move on to fuel. Now I'm going to run a temporary fuel supply into an NHRA approved fuel container. Nope, definitely just a snowmobile tank. And now we can see if the needle and seat work. Probably not. And then hopefully this thing just fires off.
Yep.
Wow, this stubborn little mule. What do you think Randy Travis is doing? I don't know. This guy, he can go up here. So now, there we go. I can hear it filling the bowl, and that should change tone if the needle's gonna hold. I need my carburetor adjuster. There it is. Theoretically, if I crank on this, it should hopefully make some noise. Bring the thunder! It kind of did the thing. Come on. Starter sounds like a dying dolphin. Running. Come on, girl. It's alive! Kind of! Doesn't sound very good. I think I'm gonna kill it. We'll start working through this thing. Well, I think what the guy's gonna do here is pull out all the sparkulators. Oh yeah, that's richer than Oprah. Nozzle change on the lightning hoses. Them are older than all three of my kids combined. And then we'll just start working through a tune-up. Welcome to Derek's non-fictional storytelling time. Did you know Pontiac developed 8 straight 6 engines between 1926 and 1969? This was the only overhead cam straight 6 that they made. Pretty neat. Yeah. Lightning Storm is brand new. We're probably gonna have to dig into that fuel make it happener and rebuild on it. There we go. Oh yeah, she's pretty dirty. We'll spray out the exteriors first, right into the oil drain pan, and then we'll go ahead and pop it apart and see what we can do with the thing. Old Rochester. Whoppin'! No, it's more like but now guy's just gonna start spraying everything down and say smart words and then put it back together in the reverse order. Okay, we got this thing all rebuilt, and hopefully with new sparkulators, lightning hoses, other doodads over there, and this rebuilt, it runs like 17% better. Clicky clacky. Let's see what we got. Well, it idles now, just still, poorly. All right. So I was looking down there and I could see the vacuum advance diaphragm putting timing into it, basically. Take that away, and well, it runs a lot more gooder, I'm sure. Yeah, that's fine. It'll come around. I mean, 30 years is a long time for a vehicle to sit, right? So we got to let the rings come back around and do all sorts of stuff. time, put some water in this thing, see if the radiator even holds water. The thermostat might be stuck. I don't know. The biggest thing is I'm gonna move because I can't breathe any longer. So I got some basically fuel injector, carburetor, solvent, planer stuff here. Hopefully bring those sticky rings back around, and whatever is wrong with the number 3 cylinder, it'll completely rebuild that. Runs like a Swiss watch, and I ain't kidding you. Well, that's a pretty good sign. We just abused on it pretty good, didn't get hot. Unfortunately, it is smoking a little bit. My belly button tells me it's that number 3 cylinder, but you know, a long drive home at sustained RPM is probably just what this thing needs. It's gonna stretch its legs out a little bit. I think while we got it running here, might as well jump in, grab on the shift machine, and see if it, shifts. Neutral, of course that's gonna work. Drive. Oh yeah. Reverse. Oh yeah. All right. Ooh. Pretty sure I just broke. Yeah, I just popped the brake line. That's fantastic. Well, we have a transmission and no brakes. Perfect. That is just perfect. Yep. So, bleeding the brakes, we're getting fluid to the rear just fine. The master cylinder is doing its thing. Unfortunately, we've got no fluid at the front at either side here. That's supposed to be open in the center to let fluid travel through. Not even close. So I think I determined why the drinker side front isn't braking. The C-clamp over here, I don't think that's supposed to be there traditionally, but I'm not mad. I get to take home a new C-clamp. Well, we're losing light, so I think we're going to call it for today, but listen, I know it looks like a mess, but we had an awesome first day. After 30 years, we got the Pontiac fired back up. It sounded pretty good. The transmission works. It seems to be staying cool. We're just fighting these brakes right now, but we're down to one wheel. We'll see you guys bright and early. Tomorrow, the goal is to put this thing on the highway. 11:07 early o'clock. Back on the Pontiac Tempest here. So we got all the brakes bled here. None of them are blowing out right now, and we don't have any leaks. That's the main thing. I'm going to move on to the fuel system here. We're going to need the capacitize if we're going to go 300 miles. I think it would be a lot of fuel stops at 2 gallons. I'm going to put a fuel filter in line before the pump, try to save on that. Hopefully that one even works. And then put another fuel filter over here right before the carb, and then we can kind of monitor what kind of debris and rust and who knows what we're going to pull out of that tank. So a guy wants to put a water temperature gauge in here. Weird, I know, right? We want to make sure this thing stays cool not only on the way home, but I have some pretty radical ideas to hot this thing up when we get it back to the shop, and having a temperature gauge is very, very important for that process. What I'm going to do here is actually remove the thermostat housing, or the water neck here, drill and tap that. Well, you can see there's a huge advantage to buying vehicles from other fellers that do hot rod stuff. Well, there's the fitting, so I can stick my temperature probe right in that guy. This is just going to get mounted up in the cab there, and of course, and then we'll be able to monitor the temperature. Needle, needle, needle. Here we go. Well, we got our new tires and wheels here. Biggest difference is we're going from a 205 on a 14 to a 225 60/15 all the way around, and oh yeah, white letters out. Yep, kind of gives it that muscle car feel. Outlaws. I think this will give it a nice attitude. It's finally that time. The Tempest is ready to hit the road. Redid the ignition systems, tuned tuned her up a little bit, adjusted the timing, rebuilt the fuel, make it happen around here. Yep. Brakes and brakes.
I gotta go this way? I can't remember.
And brakes. Tires and wheels, just enough cleaning to see where we're going. Let's throw this thing on the road, see what it does. First few miles is gonna tell us a lot. Ooh, tire rubbish. Bad. That's all right, just gotta turn wide. Power steering works great. Biggest thing is gonna be keeping an eye on this temperature gauge, and also this fuel gauge, if it happens to work, would be absolutely amazing. Otherwise, we'll have to do the calculations, and I'm not good with the math magicianals. For some reason, the sawdust is staying on the hood. How is that happening? Ain't got no ACs. Wait, that is literally blowing right now. Oil pressure, 39 pounds of that. Give or take 39. Well, speedometer says 60. I don't know how accurate that is. I'm gonna cruise at this speed for a while. Doesn't feel like I'm really pushing it. We're at 190.7 degrees on the temperatures. And if we do good, doesn't get hot, maybe we'll pick up the pace just a little bit. Well, that's what 230 degrees looks like on a Pontiac, I guess. No water in the oil. That's good. I'm gonna back the timing off. I think it's the first thing I'm gonna do. Too advanced, too hot. Well, I got the timing readjusted. Adjusted the air-fuel mixture on the fuel making happener. Adjusted the idle speed as well. Somewhere along the way here, I better pick up like 512 gallons of water, I think. Maybe just fill the back seat. And hopefully this works. Got her down to 190 again. Just gotta get some clean air here. Make a slower pace. See what happens. Credence Clearwater. Slow down. Legendary Nashville. I like to call it Nash Vegas. It's changed a lot. It has, and I ain't kidding you. Buy one pair, get two pair free on the boots? Okay, sun's going down. Let's find a highway, get this thing back to the shop. Well, we actually made it to the shop. I asked a lot of this Pontiac today, and it actually delivered. Now, tomorrow, we're going to tear into this thing, and we're going to go ahead and hop up the 6-cylinder, of course, dress the paint and interior, but first, I'm going to get a little shut-eye. We'll see you bright and early tomorrow. Well, good morning. We're back on the 66 Pontiac Tempest here, and I brought some help in, Dan, the interior man. How's it going, Dan?
Perfect.
Thanks for coming down. Appreciate it.
I love it down here.
So I'm going to write out a list here on the windshield, something we could just start knocking some items off. I think I'm going to dig in on the engine first. Now, the popular vote, of course, is going to be probably take this straight 6 out, put some sort of Pontiac V8 in there, and I hear you. But listen, personally, I'm kind of fond of this OHC6. They're incredibly unique, and they're getting really, really hard to find. So I'm going to leave this thing in here, but we got some work to do on it, that being said. So we got new exhaust, we got a 4-barrel intake. Now I want to fix the hesitation, improve throttle response, and we're going to do that by going fuel injection. And I know that's a little unique as well, but hey, why not? And then the interior here,
We got Dan here, and you can work your magic. What are you thinking on that?
Well, the headliner, we had some really good luck with that headliner. And so we're going to take that down, re-sew it, put new listings in it, and put it back up in there. And it should look brand new when we're done.
Nice. What about the seats? What are we going to do there?
Well, we've got some black seat covers.
Dash? You going to do the dash?
Yeah, we have a new dash, and that's also black, so that's going to work out fine.
Obviously, on the exterior here, just cleaning this thing, washing it, and doing a quick buff and maybe a little bit of shine juice is going to be an incredible transformation. I think it's probably going to be just enough. This is a lot of work, so Dan, we better get digging in here.
Okay.
So, there you go. Helps if you turn it on. Can't wait to see what this thing looks like. Well, this is drying off here out in the sun, I'm gonna scoot into town and pick up a bunch of miscellaneous pipe and pieces and things. We got a 2-piece header system here, and I gotta make this somehow do the thing under the car, and the other one's in also a weird shape. So I don't know. We're gonna go get a bunch of pieces and flanges and things like that and try to put something together, I guess. Another beautiful day in Tennessee. Guy doesn't mind going to the parts store when you have a drive like this. It's just beautiful. And, you know, the classic car helps a lot. What's this thing do? Oh, this one's way better. Sure. Sure. Think we got what we need to cobble something together. It's basically just got to be gooderish enough to where an O2 sensor does the O2 things. Digging into the intake and exhaust, and they're on the same side obviously over here like a lot of straight sixes are. Got the intake log and the exhaust log right underneath of it. So I'm going to get the accessories off, the power steering, the charging whirler, and basically strip the entire side of this block, because then I got to piece this header in here, or headers, and start figuring out an exhaust system. And well, I'm not an exhaust guy.
What we have here is a seat back, and we also have the seat bottoms for a 67 Firebird that we're trying to make work in a 66 Pontiac Tempest. They're way too short side to side, and what we're going to do is add some pieces to it, one on that side and then one on the other side, and that should make it big enough to fit the Pontiac Tempest.
Okay, 58 hours later.
Just inside of the edge of the piece of vinyl. So once I get these pieces sewn around the edge, I just trim them off. Try to keep the scissors on a 45-degree angle so it kind of back cuts it. Machine does all the work. All I'm doing is steering. Kind of like a car. Now, if I did my math correctly, this piece will be the right size.
So basically this is going to be our exhaust system here. It's just tacked into place right now. What would have been ideal for this header setup would have been dual exhaust, obviously, but I don't have the tools, material, or time to make that happen. So we're going to go 2 into 1 like this, and then somewhere back in here is where I'm going to put, I guess around 18 to 20 inches, the O2 that we need for the fuel injection. Just got to clean this up now, get it all prepped, weld everything in, and then put it in the car for the 98th time, bolt it up. So I'm going to start the fuel injection system with fuel. This does not have a return style sending unit to the tank. There's only one line out, and that just feeds the fuel pump. With this fuel injection, we got to have a line coming back. So I'm going to start here at the sender. We're going to put a return style sender in it. Fuel will come out. What's not used comes right back and drops into the tank. And then right here on the fuel rail, up over here, we're going to be splicing into this and putting in a pre-filter, the actual digital electronic pump, and then a post filter. And then we got to run the fuel line back to here, and then also some electronic digital wires up to that pump. So I happened to notice here after a guy, pressure washed it, tore it down a little bit, a lot of the Craigslist rebuild is wearing off, So I'm going to put some new bearings back in it and rebuild the Craigslist build. Good opportunity to get under the exhaust system here, then missed that. Performance cam going in. Looks pretty rebuilt from this side. Make it happen. This piece. Well, we got the Clifford intake in and the headers in. Just got to tighten up a few more bolts here. Basically what I'm fighting right now is the original bracketry for the power steering pump is not going to work. So a guy whipped up my own bracket and just welded that right to the header, and we retained that power steering. So I'm happy we were able to do that. But this is the extent of the exhaust system. That is it, and it's going to sound a lot better. Okay, back in for the 300th time. Maybe next time. Well, I think we're going to call it for today. It's getting very late. Got quite a bit done today. I got the fuel sending unit in, all the fuel lines, the pump, the pre and post filters, the header, the intake. Started on a little bit of the wiring, and Dan, you've been hard at it too. This thing is stripped out basically.
Yeah, we got the carpet out of it, we got the seats out of it. Tomorrow the headliner's coming out of it, and then still modifying seats to put back into it. So we got our work cut out for us.
But that's going to do it. We'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning. Yikes. But today is the day. This thing is going to be back running and completely put back together, but there's a lot to do yet. Right now I'm working on the throttle cable. I got to get that figured out. Still have to do all of the wiring, finish the fuel lines, and actually get that sniper in, programmed and tuned. Dan's working hard on the interior. He's getting very close to start putting stuff back in. And I called in Jessica. She's going to come out and help as well.
I'm gonna have her start on the paint, start buffing that, and hopefully by the end of today, we're gonna have a completely transformed running car. The biggest change I'm gonna be making to the Tempest is the Holley Sniper electronic fuel injection system. It's basically a 4-barrel throttle body with the injectors built right in there, and it's gonna bolt right up to the Clifford intake. Now we just gotta make sure that that's 12 volts, 12 V's on the dot. I don't think I've ever seen a 4-barrel EFI setup on a Pontiac OHC6 before, so this might actually be the first.
So these are listings. I'm gonna sew these together and then sew one for each bow that there is to hold the headliner up.
So these are the final 2 connections I have for all of the wiring on the fuel injection system here. It's just positive and ground for the pump. And we're very close to firing this thing up. So I'm gonna have Jessica do the polishing on the car here while I continue to work on the engine and whatnot. This here machine, she can get really good around all the corners and edges, and you don't have to worry about burning any of the paint off. She'll hit everything from the trim down, and I think the sides will polish up nice. This here is the original factory throttle cable here. Press on the gas pedal, that moves your carburetor right there. And this one is too short, not gonna work. And that's gonna be the start to the new throttle bracket. Oh, this better run. Now we can go to monitor, multi-gauge, vitals. We got 12.3 volts, that's good. We'll crank it, see what happens. So far, everything's good. There it goes. Just like that. It's alive! What a difference. All right, let's get this paint done, get the interior done. We gotta go drive this thing. So we've got to finish the shine out to bring this car back around into a go-in-the-town rig. Jessica's got it buffed from the trim down, but we've got to deal with this. And this is really common when you're into old rigs and rescuing these things. And I've got a mixture here I'm going to show you guys. Anybody can do it. Pour some of this bowl linseed oil in. And then, this is your shine. If you want to cut your shine, you're going to put in some earth ghost juice here. Okay? And the more of this you put in, the less shinier it gets. I'm not going to do it a lot. To do it Derek style, get your favorite penetrating oil, and you don't need a lot of this. Just like a spritz. Mix this up, and I'm telling you what, your mind's going to be bottled. Watch what it does to this paint. There you go. Now I do have to tell you, when you take a flammable chemical and a flammable chemical and a flammable chemical and you mix them together, this is flammable now. Dispose of this properly or your shed might just go up in smoke. So I got a small issue here on the digicals for the Holley. I don't have a good 12-volt switch source. And what's happening is during cranking, the Holley is shutting off because it doesn't have enough power. But I can fix it with the relay under the dash. On, off, on, off. On, off, off, on, off.
We couldn't find any replacement carpet kits for this, so we're just gonna save some time and money and use the old spray on it.
I still can't
get this voltage drop situation figured out. Can't have nothing nice. Every single pin on this fuse panel drops to about 1.5 volts, 2 volts when cranking. There it is. No, and I can't get it to go, so I need to fix this correctly. So I'm gonna do the right thing and just put in a toggle switch. You know, that'll kick the old Holly on and off. There we go. So right now I'm gonna take the old dash panel out. We got a replacement. And this one's not really bad. There's a blemish. Well, I can't find it now. Up here somewhere. Like a glove. Hey, we're having a productive day today, and I ain't kidding you. I got a lot to cross off. I'm gonna have some wristitis by the time I'm done here. Exhaust is done, intake's done, fuel injection, that's done. Shine juice, applied, she's shining. Headliner's repaired, but not quite in yet. The seats are almost recovered, got the new dash in, the carpet is colored, we buffed it, put all 4 new headlights in there, we got the sending unit in. We're looking really good here. Once we get this headliner in, then we can start putting in that carpet and seats and everything else. Dan has one more back to do, and he's almost done with it. You can see right back here, that's the back to the front seat, and then it's just assemble between the 3 of us. That should only take about 14 minutes and 39 seconds. Okay, time for carpet. Dan's got the headliner in, all the trim. That's looking good. Jessica recolored this earlier today and it's dry. What a cheap, easy way to change the color of your carpet. Do you want to throw the back seats in?
Okay. That one was like brutal. Oh, right through the window. Right.
Tuck it in. Lean. Use all your back.
Nope.
There we go.
I like it.
Seat done. Looks great, Dan. I feel the extra love you put into the foam. It's nice. We really put the work in today. We've got the whole car complete as far as what we're going to do with this thing. And I think tomorrow we're going to go for a spin. You guys want to go for a cruise tomorrow?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
We'll go bomb around the hills of Tennessee and have a little bit of fun. That's going to do it for tonight. We'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning. In just a couple days, look at what we were able to accomplish. We got a tremendous amount of work done on this. And just think what someone could do over the course of a year. We started with the tires and wheels, buffed the paint. Jessica put the shine juice on the top, kind of blend everything in. Brought all the stainless and chrome back around. Performance intake, performance headers, exhaust. Of course, that Holly Sniper has absolutely transformed this OHC6. Dan recovering the seats, package tray, fixing the headliner. Looks fantastic. Jessica colored the carpet, dash pad. Overall, we have a very nice, solid driver. I call it a going to town rig, and I think that's what we're about to do. Should we go for a drive?
Let's
Go
do
to
it.
town.
Ride's pretty good, doesn't it?
It does.
Ride's terrific.
was the hardest part about this one.
You know, not knowing if the 4-barrel fuel injection was going to work. You know, if you look and search around, it's not like there's people out there that go, I've done it, it works, here's how.
So this turned out really good. I think Dan did such a great job with the seats, recovering those, and getting that dash pad put in.
And the body in this, there's no rust in
Yeah,
this
it
car.
looks good. It's pretty straight.
Well, I enjoyed waking this Pontiac up from a nap and working on it, but I just don't have the time to take it to its full potential. So I got an idea what to do with this car. We're going to pass it on to a feller that's been looking for a project, and I think this is perfect for him. Hey Carlton, how's it going?
Good, man. How are you?
Good. Heard you've been looking for a project car?
Oh, yeah.
What do you think, first impression?
It's beautiful.
The body is almost perfect. Brand new seats, but what makes this one super unique is now you've got the digital electronic fuel injection on this puppy sitting on top of a Clifford intake. You've got headers, you've got custom exhaust on it. It just needs someone like you to take it to the next level. Here you go.
And I appreciate that.
Pontiac Tempest is yours. Take care of it.
I appreciate you, Derek, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Enjoy it. Take care. And there goes my ride home. So I guess I've got to find something else. That's going to do it for this episode. Stay tuned. There's plenty more to rescue. Oh, there's a Camaro.